For a few long hours today, there was a rumor that Donald Trump had died. Some of you reacted in horror, and some of you reacted with joy. And there's a reason for that. We're not looking at the same person. I say this with my heart, not as a bitter person. I don't wish Donald Trump ill will, but I would like you to hear me out. Where you see bluntness, we see cruelty. Where you see honesty, we see lies and broken promises. Where you see strength, we see insecurity, masked by a show of dominance. And while there's nothing wrong with that, it gets in the way of a few things, like, say, the truth and fidelity to the Constitution. It's easy to sit there and think, well, he's one of us. He's not, and I have receipts. Where you see a man of God, we see someone who only worships himself, someone godless who cannot quote a single verse from the Bible. And as you willingly and often pray for him, we believe he's not doing the same thing in return. He doesn't show any interest at all in being a man of God. Now you say, well, that's okay. He's a champion of the common man. Well, we see him as someone who exploits the common man, who uses ordinary people for his own personal gain. Where you see someone who is funny and playful, we see someone who humiliates people for sport, especially women. Where you see a protector of women, we see someone who objectifies them, degrades them, and treats them like possessions. He routinely disregards their bodily autonomy and uses their public humiliation as his entertainment. So where you see respect, we see misogyny, and where you see charm, we see entitlement. Well, you say he's a great leader, we see cowardice, because real leaders don't demand worship. Real leaders don't turn every disagreement into a betrayal. Real leaders don't treat their allies as disposable the second they stop being useful, and we see this all over. We see it with NATO, we see it with Congress, we see it with his cabinet members. He turns on people in a way that is absolutely heinous. Every single relationship is transactional. You say, well, he's a great deal maker, but every single deal he's ever made has been all about himself. Yes. Every principle is negotiable. He can change like the weather. He sees truth as a flexible commodity that can just be exploited and twisted and bent until it flatters him. Everything he's ever promised our country, every deliverable has always been 2 weeks. We'll see it in 2 weeks. We'll have it in 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. I challenge you to go back and look at every time he promised something in 2 weeks and make a list of the actual times he delivered on that promise. Where you see patriotism, we see the opposite. We see someone who is divorced from reality and divorced from democracy. He has trampled on every guardrail and continues to do so. As long as it works in his favor, he's willing to push the boundaries because it's really important that he stays the center of the story. He cannot keep his word. He cannot keep his facts straight. He cannot keep faith with the Constitution, with his allies, with his supporters, even the people that he's closest with. He humiliates others casually, reflexively, pathologically impulsive, because it feeds his ego. Every time he's putting you down, he feels good. And that's really the core of it. He's bored by anything that doesn't center him. He's unmoved by anything that doesn't glorify him. Mesmerized by promises of statues and the name Trump on the side of buildings and archways and corridors. He is absolutely consumed by the fear of being forgotten, ignored, or irrelevant. And I want you to hear me when I say this. That fear has done irreparable damage to himself and to this country. So when people ask why we are so disgusted with Donald Trump, this is why. Please think critically about the man that you defend so fiercely, the man you call strong, the man you call necessary, the man you call truthful, because he would betray you in a second if it meant more applause, more spotlight, and more money. He does not care about democracy. He does not care about the truth, and he does not care about you. And for a long few hours today, that reality came into focus for a lot of people. It isn't that we hate Donald Trump. It's that we hate what he's done to good people. The good names that he's smeared, the people he's thrown under the bus, the people that have given their heart, soul, money, careers in service to him and his administration. And he has turned on every single one of them and continues to do so. He would sooner smear you in a truth or a tweet, even if you voted for him, even if you've given him your undying loyalty, than to say you merely had a disagreement, but otherwise you're a decent human being. And that's the point. We've seen so many good people get eaten up by his endless, bottomless ego. So yes, some people will be filled with joy when Donald Trump dies, but not because we relish in the idea of other people's pain and suffering. Precisely the opposite. We hate that he has done that to you. We hate that he has betrayed your trust, that he's disingenuous, that he uses you like a prop, that he throws you away, that everything is transactional, that it's all about money for him and how it looks. It's about appearances. There's no substance underneath. He's cruel and mean and selfish. And for what it's worth, he's not a man of God. And now he's got us in an impossible situation with Iran after he promised us no new wars. It is clear that he is not being transparent with the American people about what's really going on. I want to believe the best in people. I do. And I pity him because I do believe that he's sick. And I don't mean dementia. I mean that he's pathologically impulsive. There are things that are impossible for him, like grace and the truth. And so while I don't wish ill on anyone, I will celebrate his death as freedom from his narcissistic impulses and the way that he has been so unbelievably cruel to so many good people. The way that he has asked you to disbelieve the truth that you're seeing with your own eyes, the way he insults your intelligence, the way that he asks you time and time again to follow him over the guardrails of democracy, not thinking for 2 seconds how the trampling of those personal freedoms is going to one day turn around and affect you too. His chaotic nature with tariffs and taxes and the farmers and oil and all of this supply chain nonsense is causing incredible anxiety across our country. People don't know what's going to be happening from one day to the next because he's inconsistent, because he's reactive, because he is following whatever whim of the day or whatever long-standing vendetta he's really truly after. So again, I ask you to think critically about whether or not he's good for you, your family, your children, and our country. This goes beyond politics. It's a question of humanity. Thank you for listening.